Matriarchy Ii. Hello, my relatives. Today is a good day because we're talking about matriarchy. I refresh your memory. We left off when talking about purification, how women are naturally purified. Wow! I mean, what did the patriarch turn that into? That beautiful, universally controlled expression of holiness. I mean, wow, they turned it into something dirty. What are the patriarchs? You see, when left to their own devices, what do? They turn everything into the negative. Kind of fear again. But back to purification. Imagine a human being purified naturally. We aren't. We're not purified. So as indigenous people, especially those that live where there's 4 seasons, and further north, we created the sauna, the steam bath. Part of decolonization is decolonizing your mind and your speech from the way the colonizer has taught you. Among indigenous people, especially among the American Indian in North America, the sauna, doesn't that sound great? The sauna, or the steam bath. But what are we forced to call it? The sweat lodge. The sweat lodge. What? You gotta decolonize oneself. It's the sauna, it's a steam bath. It's that simple. That's how we purify ourselves. And you know, when we indigenous people go into the inipi, bathing oneself to be clean, purifying oneself to be clean. You know, we sing songs, we joke, we laugh, we tell stories, we teach. All of the above happens in that. And that's a male ceremony, because the females go through it naturally. They do not have to go into the inipi. And so, we Lakota, we have purification lodge. That's what we call it. Purification lodge, or inipi. It's for more, it's a spiritual cleansing. That's the only way we can come to find out what it's like to be purified from within outward. So the inipi represents the womb. And so we go into the womb like the way we were, naked. And when we come out of the womb, we're reborn. It's a rebirth, a spiritual and physical rebirth of well-being. It's a beautiful experience. And thanks to the women, and through their holy example, that's how we came about with purification. Now, other indigenous people have other rites of purification, but the point is the same. I love it. Now, in a matriarchal society, the child, once it comes into this world, the child is the center of the universe. When a child enters a room, all adult talk stops and focus on that child. What a great feeling, huh? To be a little child, and when you walk into the room, you are the center of the universe. And you're made to know that by every adult present. Wow! Just think how you grow up, what that foundation in your psyche is. Hey, you're the center of the universe. You're an important person. Wow. So you see, you're treated with the center as the center of the universe. They don't want you to be unhappy. So the first 5, 6 years of your life, you're doted upon. Your every wish is attempted to be granted. You never, and never is a long time. You never, as a child growing up in the indigenous world, hear the word no. Now I challenge you, patriarchal systems people, try to bring up your child, at least for 5 years, the first 5 years of his life, by never saying no. Never is a long time. What a concept. What kind of child psychology is that? We didn't go to Harvard or Yale or Smith or any other university in the world to learn about psychology and specifically child psychology. No. We just go by natural law. We're primitives. And I'm a born-again primitive. Love it. I just want to say it all the time. So we have this this concept. Okay, if you're the center of the universe, then how do you maintain that bond between the child and its mother without there being any animosity whatsoever? Well, you don't have another child. At least for 6 years. At least. Because you see, at 6 years of age, every culture, patriarchal or matriarchal, they know that's when the child is ready to leave the side of its mother. That's 6 years of age. So, that's when the disciplines is being taught. Yeah? The fortitude is being taught. The strengths are being taught. And the learning, the teaching. So that the child realizes it's time to get on with his life. But it's ready. It's naturally ready to leave the side of its mother. Well, that means then the mother is dedicated not to having another child, so that one she gave birth to is the center of the universe. There's a teaching in the Christian Bible and in other Bibles and holy books about just that wisdom. Cain and Abel, for instance. You know? Cain murders his brother. They were born too close together and they had jealousy and competition and envy. You see? And what is their competition for? The love of the mother. And the rest of the family. They want the attention. They want to be the center of the universe. They are the center of the universe. You cannot destroy that by having a sibling while they're trying to be the center of the universe. You wait 5 or 6 years and then you have another child. That's the way we primitives did it. Now, as further proof, as an aside, you go to primitive land where primitive people live, us indigenous people. Go there. Not to an Indian reservation, which is a concentration camp, but I'm talking about to where they're still living the way they always have lived. And you'll never find overpopulation. Hello? Maybe we're just too primitive to know any better. But in a matriarchal society, there isn't overpopulation. Now, there's always exceptions to every rule. But for each exception, it only goes to prove the rule. Now, in indigenous societies, and I've yet to see this fail, but A man isn't considered worthy of matrimony or fatherhood until he's got his feet economically planted on our grandmother the earth and he knows his path in life. In other words, he has proven himself as an adult male and he's ready now and able to be a father, a husband, a family man, and everything that goes with it. So by that time he's in his late 20s, early 30s. Then he starts courting. Sometimes younger. I mean, there's no hard and fast rule. But by and large, you don't get married until you're economically ready and mature enough to handle it. A young woman, both the father and the mother want the child to be given the best. It's the center of the universe. So the strength of the mother is when she's young. So she wants to give all of that strength to her baby. And so does the father. He's strong. He's at the zenith of his physicality. So he is more than happy to pass that on. So that means then at 16, 17 years of age, you're ready for motherhood. And you go around the world, and that's indeed the case. And you have a 20-something or 30-something-year-old father who can take care of his new family. It's natural law or natural selection. You know? Wow, what a concept, huh? Sounds like Planned Parenthood. With the child at the center of the universe, not you. So you see, when she has her second child, she's what, 22, 23 years of age, maybe 24. So she has her second child. She's still strong. The husband's still strong. But there's another 6 years while that child is the center of the universe. So by then she's what, 28? 30? And he's 45. No longer are they going to give their best and their strongest genes to the new child. So consequently, just by natural law, you don't have overpopulation. You know? You replenish the exact what brought you here. Isn't matriarchy a good idea? I think so. Doksha.